Hello, my name is Leah McBurney, and I'm the Crisis Communicator for BP. And today we're going to go over my pitch for the BP Communication Plan. To start off, we're going to go over a brief overview of the plan. So this is a crisis communication plan for the event of an oil spill, and our end user is going to be the public. So with the public, we wanted to make sure that we were considering the difference in demographics. So that could be their age, ethnicity, gender, and location. And you'll see that when we get to the different messaging that we are going to be using. And the person that's going to be delivering these messages is going to be Murray Anchuclos, who is the current CEO of the company. Now we're going to go over the overall message priority. So we want to make sure that we're addressing the issues and communicating them as soon as possible. So the soonest available that we can get a news interview with a news source, we're going to do that. We can post on our social media as soon as we know and we get that articulated, and we can make sure that we're creating different videos for the public that, they're not as professional as the news would be, but so our CEO is still being upfront and visible with the public as they should be. So we also want to make sure that we're addressing the current level of importance with the issues. So in terms of that means that if we already are aware that the facility is no longer leaking oil, the current level of importance is going to be how we plan to clean that up. Now, if we know that the facility is still currently leaking oil, the current level of importance is going to be how can we stop leaking oil and putting that into the water so we can make sure that we're not cleaning up and then contaminating again. Now, we also want to make sure that even though the public is not necessarily going to see an issue being addressed on the news, that it's going to be being addressed in the background and that we are still making progress on it. And we want to make sure that's very well aware, because we don't want them to think that we're pushing an issue aside because something else has priority, because that may be true in some way, but there are still going to be a group of people working on that also in a different aspects. Now, the purpose of the whole communication kit is to make sure that the public is informed with everything that's going on and how we plan to do this. So we want to make sure that they're aware of beach closures so they can plan their vacations accordingly, and it's not like they're showing up, finding out the beach is closed, and, well, BP ruined their whole vacation. We also want to make sure that they know that boating and fishing are going to be prohibited. That's going to be more for their health and safety aspects. We also want to make sure they're aware of different improvements that are being made to the facility so they know that we're doing everything we can so this won't happen again. They also need to know how the resources are going to be used for cleanup. They also can be aware of what happened and why it happened. So then they know, this is why we're making these improvements, and this is how we're going to keep it from happening again. We also want them to be aware of our plan of action for cleanup and getting everything back to the normal standard as fast as possible. And the reason we want to make sure the public stays aware of all this is so we can help mitigate uncertainty. So we're going to accomplish this by having open, clear communication with the public. We want a clear and consistent message so that there is no questions about everything we're doing. We also want to make sure that we're getting with the news outlets as soon as possible, knowing that they're busy and have a lot of things they need to cover. We want to make sure that we're getting out so we can get a broader outreach to everybody that we possibly can. We also want to make sure that we're using proper word choice and that our CEO is aware of, what he should and should not say, so that the media does not take what we say and blow it out of proportion, causing worry and concern for the public. So now we're going to go into the two examples I have for two communication plans. So this is going to be the mainstream media example, and this is going to be in the form of a video.
Hello, my name is Leah McBurney, and I'm a crisis communicator for BP. I'm here to inform you that our Mad Dog facility has had an oil spill, but we are currently working on getting that oil spill contained. Unfortunately, we are going to have to get with the Department of Natural Resources to get the beaches along the coast closed and prohibit swimming, as well as prohibit fishing and boating in the area until this is cleaned up. Once we are aware of the affected areas, we will start to reopen some of those beaches and fishing and boating along the coast. But until then, we want to be sure that we're worrying about the public's health and safety and closing all of that until we are aware of this. We will be posting updates through these videos, as well as on our Instagram at BP_PLC. And there's also going to be a link in that Instagram to the BP's website where there will be posting updates as well. But we're going to be posting updates on the cleanup plan, the improvement plan, and when everything should be back to normal, as well as when those beaches, fishing, and boating, everything is kind of opening back up. When we do have more information available and we have proceeded more with investigations, we're going to reach out to news outlets to kind of get a broader outreach of communication out there for everyone. Thank you, and we appreciate your patience.
The next message example is going to be on social media. So this is going to be an Instagram example right here. So you can see that the picture really draws in the public's attention with the big attention. It has a brief information inside about how there's been an oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico and how we're going to have to close the beaches, fishing and boating being prohibited, and then obviously making it known that there's going to be more information to come. Now, if they read the caption, they're going to have slightly more information involved with it. So this is a Mad Dog facility example as well as the last one. So, for example, it says, we recently discovered our Mad Dog oil production facility has leaked oil. An investigation is going on to determine if the facility is still leaking oil. But as we gather the information, updates will be posted to this account. For now, all beaches along the Gulf of Mexico are closed. For swimming and fishing and boating are prohibited. And then when the affected area is determined and the spill is contained, these activities will begin to open back up. It's also going to be signed by the CEO himself, and we'll figure out if we want to add some contact information in there for them or not, and if we want to kind of set aside, maybe we'll set up another email for any questions or concerns. They can go ahead and email in. And we also have the link as well as some hashtags to kind of get it out there. Thank you.